Welcome back to Switched to Linux. Oh, how is everybody doing on this wonderful Wednesday? 10-4 all. It's October 4th. Bad joke. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started here, I think, just by saying greetings to everybody. This is a Life and Linux. And what we're going to do today is, like, two people asked me to look at Q4OS on the comments yesterday, and so I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I know nothing about it. I installed it. It might still be... How's it doing over here? Okay. Where's it at? There it is. Yep. I'm just kind of unlocking it and opening it up. The downside is, okay, there we go. There we are. All right. Yep, we should be about ready. And then we're also going to have a quick look at the Fedora beta. I've looked at Fedora quite a bit. We're just going to boot into it, see what it looks like. I'm not really expecting anything different. You know, it's Fedora. What can you say? Good distro if you like Fedora, bad distro if you don't like Fedora, but I'll let that be up to you guys. So, hello there, everybody. Striker Wolf is the first. How's it going, sir? Daniel, how are you? I hope that Cubes is going well. One of the fun things to do with Cubes is you can run full virtual machines on top of that. So I actually have, my camera is a little lopsided. It's kind of driving me a little crazy. Here we are. You can actually run full additional virtual machines in there. I think Windows 10 and maybe not Windows 8, I think, has problems with it still, unless they fix that. I actually have a Tails that boots up, so it's really funny. Running Tails through a Unix system, it's like double torque. Never actually tried that, but every now and again if I need to open something up. Now there's like the anonymous distro, but if there's something really suspicious, I got Tails on my Cubes as well. So so yeah, Cubes rocks. Cubes rocks. I almost wish there was a version I get with a different desktop environment, because I'm not a huge fan of XFCE, but you know, it actually is pretty good. It's pretty good. And I've themed up my one version of it so it looks really nice. I'll have to show that when I can sometime, just to show you guys what my Cubes looks like these days. Just love switching to Linux in general, like escaping from captivity. It is very much like escaping from captivity, and that's the cool part about it. That you have so much freedom, availability. Of course, I'm running my Linux Mint KDE computer back behind me. I was running Ubuntu, but one of the problems I'm having on the Ubuntu with GNOME is that it will not play videos on view.yahoo.com. And for those that will suggest it, I do have HAL enabled and DRM is enabled. It still won't play them. Hello, Techno Bismol. How's it going, sir? And JJ Game is giving me an FBI test. No, I actually read that. Hey, Pseudo Linux. How's the rat doing, Pseudo Linux? I saw some pictures of the rat on your videos. Check out Pseudo Linux's channel. He has a rat and some cool Linux videos over there. All right. I didn't pass the sheep test. Yes, I am an expert in barnyard animals. All right, Technobismos looking for some cheese. Came for Linux, stayed for Kitty. Yeah, Kitty's being cute. Where's Kitty at right now? Where's my kitty cam? There we go. The cat has decided to stand up. Oh, meow. Oh, now he's moving off screen. Why are you moving off screen, Kitty? He's coming over here. Yeah, you want to come up here? All right. Say hi, peoples up here. Hello, peoples. All right. Hey, Lawrence, how's it going? Meow. And the kitty says meow to you. Now I'm a nub. Is this about Cubes RC4? This is my life in Linux. I just kind of talk randomly stuff. Yeah, we're gonna look at Q4OS. We're gonna look at Fedora if we get time. So yeah, we're gonna do a couple different things, probably in no real order. So what I might end up doing, I might experiment with taking the live stream down when we're done recording it and chopping it into the various pieces. So we'll see if that works or not. I don't know. Never done that before. That's what Brian Lenduke does on his shows, and it actually works very well. So I might just do that. Let's see. Pat Rat says hello. Kitty, can my kitty come play with your pet rat? Nano. All right. Pet dog, cat, hamster, guinea pig, and others all say hi. All right. Do I like Solus OS? I really like Solus since they installed snap packages in the latest version. I think it's really cool. Moby and CPU are Mobo and CPU. Mobo. I'm drawing a blank on what Mobo is. CPU, I'm running this on a Core i5 3570K. I probably overclocked. I don't know. I inherited it from somebody who does a lot of gaming stuff, so I'm guessing it's overclocked. There's 32 gigs of RAM in there. I have an IC dock on the front, so I hot swap hard drives between various things. Like this is my Ubuntu Mate, which I use for data backup stuff. I'm running Linux Mint Cinnamon on here, and I run Cubes on the other hard drive, and then I have some other stuff laying around. Install Linux Mint Cinnamon on my main PC. Love it. Yes, it is awesome. All right. Uploading video at the same time. May get cut off midstream. Uh-oh. Check out Pseudo Linux's channel. Likes cheese and cake. All right. Duke made it to W3C. Yes, I saw that. Actually, I sent some money over to him. I wanted to give him like everything that was in my Patreon account for the month, but I couldn't find a simple way to do that, so I just signed in for I signed up on for to be a patron of Brian Lenduke's over there to help him out there. Hey, Zero Miki, how's it going? Hello, Harold Cruz. Oh, Motherboard. Ha ha, thank you. Motherboard is... Oh... I'm drawing a blank on what motherboard. It is a... Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on the motherboard and the BIOS. I hate it. I hate the BIOS and the motherboard. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and first, I guess, what's going on life. Well, this week we are not going to have news on Friday because we are going to do the official book release. I'm not showing the cover yet, but the official book release will be Friday. I do not have my proofs yet. I was expecting my proof yesterday or today, and I have not seen it yet. So hopefully my proofs come in tomorrow. Regardless, even if they're not here, I'm still going to go ahead and launch the book because I do have 2 copies of it sitting right up here. So I can go ahead and do some reading stuff, and one of them has some interior things that are incorrect. The other one is actually interiorly correct, but I wanted to revise the cover. For the U.S. people, you can get the book directly from me. The print book will come signed. You can also buy the ebook directly from me. It is a DRM-free book. For anybody that's not U.S. based, I have the book. I will have that book available on PayHip. So I have my other book available on PayHip right now because, for whatever reason, it's not on Amazon anymore. And there was a fun reason to not use Amazon. I have no idea why. But you can get, PayHip will allow you to get it international, and they take care of all that VAT taxes and stuff. We don't have to deal with that. But we will talk more about that book release on Friday. I'm going to do 2 streams, one on the Switch to Linux stream, where we're going to talk about the details about how I produced the book, because the book was entirely written and produced on Linux. So we're going to talk about that production part. I'm going to try and keep that to like a 25-minute, maybe 30-minute at most. And then we're going to take about a 5-minute break, and we will jump over and live stream on the Christian channel for the first time. So those that want the techie, geeky, Linuxy stuff, but don't care about Christian books, you can watch how I produced the book on Linux and get something from it. For those that want to hear the Christian stuff, I'm going to read some excerpts. I might give away a couple copies and see what we can do with that. So regardless, the book release is going to be Friday. So we're going to do a news on Saturday, and probably not a tinfoil hat time unless there's something particularly creepy or tinfoil hatty in the news, in which case I'll wear a tinfoil hat during my news. So that's what we're going to do. Also had a very intriguing, weird conversation with somebody that kind of made me a little concerned that I'm not going to talk about today because it was kind of a Christian conversation. So I'm putting that up on the Christian channel tomorrow. So that's over there because it's kind of a philosophy matter. And for those that don't really care for that, then yeah, you don't have to watch it on the Linux channel. But for those interested and do not know, I also do weekly studies on a Christian channel, which the link is going to be coming into the chat window in just a second. That is for my Christian channel. There's weekly, very in-depth Bible studies based on foundations, and also I take some time to do some philosophy stuff. And tomorrow's video is going to be an exciting one. So there is that. I'm going to keep place in chat so we can jump in to look at some distros here. Let me come up here and do that and come over here, and I'm going to go ahead and boot on into the operating system. All right. So here we go. We have, this is Q4OS, I believe is the name of this bad boy. A few people asked that I look at it. So ultimately, what is this? It is a Debian-based system that is essentially, it was designed for doing, basically for doing package management things. Possibly, I'm guessing, one of the types of things, I don't know a lot about this. I just looked it up for the first time today. I never heard of it. So Brian Lundukes was talking about having a data strategy, like an end-of-the-world data strategy approach, which is an awesome thing to do. Talking about downloading and keeping mirrors of the packages available, utilizing a stable system like Debian or something. And this OS here is kind of for that kind of stuff. It's for development testing, really. But the other thing you can do with it, because of how it's designed, is you can really make this thing a really lightweight operating system. So you can use it to revive old systems. Like I said, though, I don't really know anything else about this. So we're just going to go ahead and have a look at it. I installed it and just kind of said, hey, install the basic package here. So I have no idea what we're going to see in here. Now, one of the things right away, you had the option to install the guest editions right away. It detected a virtual machine and gave you the prompt for the customized guest editions specifically for this. So if you're looking for a lightweight Linux desktop to use in a VirtualBox, this is a good choice because you have your full screen capabilities out of the box. Now, one of the downsides is it doesn't capture the mouse correctly, at least not in the current system. It might if I were to reboot the system because I've installed the guest editions. You had to log in, log out to get some of the guest edition stuff going. But regardless, it does work well. So because it doesn't auto capture, to get the mouse out of here, you have to hit specifically the right control key will jump the mouse out. So you can see now I have two mice, and then click anywhere on the desktop and it will capture it. So that's kind of how that works. So with that being said, what we're going to do next is just kind of have a look at what software is available. So it comes pre-installed with Google Chrome, and I believe this would be Conqueror web browser. We have Synaptic Package Manager, Thunderbird, Network Things, VLC, and the LibreOffice base package right here on the desktop. Just click on that guy. Okay, so there's our base. Actually, let me see if a single click will do it or not. Nope. Okay, so you do double click to get things. You do have this very nice welcome screen here. So this booted up the first time. I just went ahead and left it on. So here you can run a desktop profiler. This basically turns the thing into a Windows computer so that it profiles everything that you... No, kidding. Automatically configures and sets additional software packages and things. We can install some applications. So here is a software center, so we can install applications. So looks like there is a multimedia codecs available. We have NVIDIA driver installer there if you want to. So TeamViewer. So you can see that what we have available there to install there. I'm sure there's probably more. Like I said, I haven't dove into this yet. If you want to install proprietary codecs, click on that guy there. Here is our proprietary codecs. One of the things I'm noticing, I don't know if it's because we're in a VirtualBox or whatever else, but the mouse does seem to lag a little bit. Now, I have seen that on other VirtualBoxes that do not auto-capture the mouse, so that might be an artifact of the VirtualBox, so I'm not going to fault that just to bring it up. Turn on desktop effects. Ooh, let's turn on desktop effects. Okay, have been enabled. Log in to take approach. And switch to kickoff menu. All right, let's go ahead. So we have bourbon, kickoff. Let's go ahead and do that. I have no idea what we're going to get here. Okay, so here we have just a different menu switcher, so that's kind of cool. Okay, that's neat. Let's go back to the original one so you can see what that one looks like. So this one here, if you're looking like, if you want an old XP type feel, this guy here really feels like an XP menu. So that's actually pretty cool. I kind of like I like that menu structure. This is a different menu structure I haven't really seen much before. So that's pretty cool. Well, you know, one thing we're going to do real quick, give me just a second here. I'm going to grab the comment feed and slide it over here so I can make sure my audio doesn't go goofy or anything. I can kind of monitor comments while we're going here. Let me do that. All right. And let's see. So there's set auto login. So for desktop effects, we have to log in and log out again. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that from the menu. Let's see. There's a lock. There's a turn off. Let's click the turn off. Let's see. Just end current session. Trinity desktop. Okay, it's closing applications. Okay. Okay, so it's kind of loading itself up in a smaller window. Let me go back down and virtual screen, scale, video capture, resize, guest display. Oh, there we go. We got her. She's back. So that actually scaled it a little bit weird. You can see here that there's some black box on the top and the bottom, so it's scaled a little bit weird, but that's okay. We'll deal with that. Let's see what else is installed on this bad boy. I said this isn't really a Linux distro to install and do production, although it can certainly do that. I mean, it's a Debian build, so but what it is it's for a lot of development testing. We have some solitaire, bounce ball game, K-bounce, and we have a Minesweeper type game. So for you guys like Minesweeper. Auto start. Now, is anybody familiar with this package? I'm seeing a lot of artifacts that look sort of like a Windows environment. Like Windows environment in the start menu, you get these uninstalls cluttered all over the place. I have no idea. And then, you know, obviously the auto start is something that you find. Let me have a look, see if there's anybody in comments telling me anything exciting. Okay, menu, yep, end session, yep. Let you log off, log back in. KDE4 on steroids. Yeah, Linux, Windows XP. Let's call this Linux XP. How's that? Linux XP. Brings back memories playing Quake back in the day. XP was one of the best versions of Windows. I agree. I loved XP. I like Windows 7 too, but I really liked XP. There were a lot of cool things that you could do with XP that you don't have the abilities to in Windows 7. Really want to make it look like XP, get XP Q4 and install that. It's crazy. I'll have a look for that when I can. Back when Microsoft cared about their users. Yippers. Yeah, they certainly don't care about their users anymore. All right. Let's see. See if there's more applications than just these. Be nice if there were more options than those guys. All right, let's see. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we have a pretty full suite of things here. Let's see. Good, Mac maximize that out a little bit. Okay, so here's Bluefish. So I guess if you want any old Linux package, go into Synaptic. This looks like their software center here probably just has those. And again, you know, if you're watching this later than this, I've never looked at this before doing this. It's just a lot of people have asked me to look into this. Control panel. Hey, look at that. We even have a control panel. They're kind of definitely are going for that Windows look, aren't they? Oh, man, look at that. Man, that just XP all the way. Woo! There's Thunderbird and an uninstall application for that. So I'm wondering if they are really focusing on learning, you know, on kind of grabbing people from the Windows environment, from an older Windows environment. Like I said, though, based on some development type stuff, this is the type of system you might use. It's kind of lightweight, doesn't have a lot of stuff going back and forth, and so what ends up happening, I think, is you can get a lot more. It opens up system resources to be able to do other things. Let's see if there's a system monitor on here anywhere. Hey, we have HTOP. All right. So let's see. So we are running on 500 megabytes of memory right now, 12% CPU. So that's pretty lightweight, pretty cool. Would I recommend this for a new Linux user? No, probably not. It has some feel that's kind of closer for, like, some aspects that's closer to Windows, like having a specific thing called a control panel and having some uninstall features. Easy usability, it's great for that. Where I think I kind of draw the line on this one is it is certainly an older style. As much as I do like the retro look, I don't like the super retro look. So that's kind of that. All right, let's see. Lawrence Dion, the way Q4OS installs files is unique when you use the software center. It will add a menu item to uninstall. Okay, that's good. Treats itself like KDE, looks more like XFCE4. Make a Linux distro called Linux XP. Hey, man, Linux, you can do it, man. Just take this, fork it, do a couple tweaks, get the Linux XP stuff from guys like, I think Farron has it laying around. You use it from there, and then, you know, you can go ahead and make your Linux XP. That'd be sweet. All right, let's see. Let's see if there's anything else I want to do. Anything else we want to do? We're gonna have a look at some comments, but let me know if there's anything else we should look at over here before we do that. All right, so where did I leave off before? All right, up here. And Solus OS video will be up tomorrow, and it sucks. No, I disagree. I think I think Solus is really cool, especially because they've gotten rid of a lot of the stuff that was kind of bloated in a lot of your like Ubuntu distros, which removed a lot of software. So when I looked at it the first time, I agreed. But then in the most recent one, which might still be in beta, I don't remember their status of it, they included the snap packages. And with the snap packages installed, then it actually really rocks because you can install just about everything on that. Some games on my phone. Found 3 nice games on F-Droid. Play while I'm bored. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. It'll suck you in. I ditched stream games entirely for Linuxy FOSS games like Super Tux and Open Air. Cool. Do cats eat rats or mice? Certainly. Now, if the rat gets big enough, the cat might be afraid of it, in which case, possibly. Well, my cat kills rats and mice. When someone says hi, it means say hi back. Oh, hi. I have a separate PC for stream games. Still have 1 machine out of my 4. Unfortunately, runs WinDump. Yeah, and that's good, especially if you're a gamer and you have a lot of games on there, or you're doing any type of developing type stuff that you still need Windows, but that's the best way to do it. Just run it on a separate drive, run it on a separate computer, and then just don't worry about it. I feel like an evil James Bond villain right now. Yes. I will take over the world of Windows and steal all your data. All right. Let's see. I do play a lot of Zionic and CG Go on my Manjaro build. Reminds me of an old version of Tails. It does look like an old version of Tails. I think it's kind of the blue. I'm trying to remember what was the first version of Tails I looked at. I don't know if it was then the 1 series, or it must have been the 1 series. First time I looked at Tails, which right now it runs GNOME. What did it run then? It wasn't GNOME before. They switched to GNOME. I forget what they're running now, or what they were running then. Light distro versus normal distro. Any preference? Any performance difference? So if I have a modern machine, should I choose a light or normal? If you have a modern machine, I would definitely choose a modern distro. Like, I love Peppermint, and I put that on my netbook that only has 2 gigs of RAM, you know, soldered into the motherboard, and that thing just works perfect. No problems at all. The thing just a beast. But I'm not sure. I actually, before I installed Peppermint on that, I actually was running Ubuntu 16.04 on that. And 16.04, it wasn't like bad, but you could definitely notice the performance. So when I kicked Peppermint for Ubuntu, it was just like, it was awesome. But if you have a modern machine, definitely just do whatever modern system you like, whether you like GNOME or you like KDE. You know, and for me, I love the Cinnamon if it's a production work type computer. I love KDE for my media type computers. You know, I love the style, what you can do with the KDE computers for customization. But you know, that's kind of that. So I would, modern computer, I'd use a normal distro. Looking to build 4K video editing machine using Kdenlive and researching all I can before I choose. Cool. Did you find any info? I mean, I have a 4K camera, which I got this, I don't know, a month or so ago. And I'm thinking of selling it. I'm finding that the video quality is acceptable. The audio quality is horrible. Option A is I could solder a microphone jack on it. Option B is just to get rid of it because I've been recording some of my outdoor videos on my Nexus 5X, which really does a good job. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Should I sell this 4K sports camera, or should I solder a headphone jack onto it, or a microphone jack onto it, so I could attach a better mic? Because if you've watched the videos I've done with that, the audio is not very good. The audio is much better on the Nexus. All right, let's see. Favorite distro. Which distro? Oh, the Trinity? Okay, cool. Reminds me of ReactOS. What? You cute cat. Alright, still expecting a high... oh, there you go. Alright. I was about to yell at you there, Shitter Linux. Didn't say hi to your friend, man. Hey, Lance, how's it going there? Shitter Linux, you finally decided to look at my messages. I can do what I want. Hey, man, he's in the middle of uploading videos. Or is that you? I forget. Somebody's uploading videos. Do I have to put you two in the corner? It's XP. Okay, even the menus. Yep. I think I read a few of these. Tom Petty. I heard something about that. Was that yesterday? I don't know. You know, all these rock stars keep dying at fairly young ages. Maybe there's a sign in that. Wait, Q4OS installs files unique. Okay, let's see. Wayner's tie-in. Okay. Treats itself like KDE, looks like XFCE4. Synaptic will still better than Ubuntu Software Center. Probably. Hey, is that KI2NE? I can't tell. My comments are... This other monitor I have sits way back away. I usually have the comments right in front of me. I can see them better. Someone needs to make a Linux... Okay, we already talked about that one. Download the Windows XP Bliss wallpaper and set it as the wallpaper. Windows XP Bliss wallpaper, huh? Let's see if I can find it. Apparently I'm going to use Google Chrome. Not a big fan of Conqueror. Let's see. Windows XP Bliss wallpaper. Yeah, there's some interesting wallpapers. Let's see. What do I want to install? Oh, this is just too funny. I gotta show you guys what I'm looking at. This is just too funny. There you are. So there's my options. I'm kind of leaning towards this one here with a pug looking over the herd of cows there. That's a cool shirt, I gotta say. There's a submarine in that one. Nuclear. Okay, hello, Chuck. Who's that crazy guy? I have no idea. Ah! I think that of all of these guys, 7906. Why? Okay. I think the one I like the most is a toss-up between the Star Destroyer or the blue screen of death coming in. So let's go ahead and save image as. Where does it go to? It goes to Documents. Okay, let's see now how I can change a. Oh, look at that! See, this is something I didn't do earlier. So I didn't come over here and look at how to change things. This is a very nice kind of comprehensive. Do this. Let's see here. Let's do picture. Let's grab from Documents this one. Really? Is it that small? There we are. There we go. That's appropriate for Windows of this era. We have the thing has been broken by a blue screen of death. So that's exciting. All right, let's see. What else do we see in the comments? Oh, love Solus. Oh, I gotcha, Techno Bismal. All right, I was gonna say, man. Okay, separate PC user games. Isn't a huge fan of being stroked yet. But in about a week or so, she should be. Yeah, just gotta give her some time. Good evening, Demiano. How's it going? No, a full synth software I like to use for EDM music. Like dying from constant noise. Gonna eat. Be right back. Alright, have fun. Holy smokes, I made it before the end. Hey, Thirsty Fox. Let's see. Good day, Charlie. How are you? Installed Ubuntu 17.10 Beta 2 Mate last night. Steam doesn't work correctly and Insurgency doesn't run. Yeah, I've had enough issues with mine. I'm going to take comments. I want to run, for this other computer I have sitting back here, I like running different things on it. I'm going to be wrapping up next week. On Monday, I'm going to do what my top 5 gripes about the new Ubuntu. But what I'd like to know from you guys is what distro to run on this computer next. Now, it's got to be something that doesn't take a boatload of time for me to configure because I just don't have a lot of time. But what distro should I run on this computer next? Should I try like an Arch or a Manjaro or something completely different? Or should I just do something else kind of boring? Let me know. What do you guys think? Hill near Toronto. Looks just like that in the background. Yeah. I mean, studio software. I'm experimenting with LMMS, but I've heard of Bitwing and a few others. Alright, let's see. I think I missed a few there. Let's see. If solder the mic and sound isn't great, you can't sell it. Yeah, and that's the downside is Do I really want to keep it around? I mean, I paid, I don't know, $60 for it as a test. I think the video's pretty good. It is the only camera I have that allows me to record the 4K video, but I really don't even post anything in 4K. It just takes too much space. And then, of course, the next downside of the camera itself is the fisheye is a little bit too fisheye for me. I mean, I can deal with it if I want to stick with it, but I don't know. It's just something to think about. Alright, let's see. Manjaro XFCE. Have you ran Zorin before? Not on a production computer. I've run Zorin in virtual boxes. I have a few different videos on Zorin, I think. Did a look mini review on Ubuntu 17.10. Getting into Linux videos now. Sweet. Good. You installed SteamOS. I'm considering trying it out. I have not, because I don't play video games. This computer can take SteamOS. It takes a beefier computer to run SteamOS. This computer can actually do it. I mean, it's beefy enough. I just don't play video games. And so, I don't know, maybe I should. Maybe I should go in there and just kind of do some video gaming, take some stress off, get into some Steam stuff, give all my money to Steam. I don't know. I got to vote for Linux Lite. I got to vote for Manjaro Cinnamon. All right, so maybe Manjaro. I got 2 votes for Manjaro there. 1 Cinnamon, 1 XFCE. I recommend Gallium OS for Chromebooks, not available on standard desktops. All right, let's go ahead and transition out of here. I'm going to close down this virtual box. Turn off and turn off the virtual box. It's closing down the Trinity desktop environment. All right. There we are. The next thing we're going to do, I think, let's see, I think I'm pretty much caught up on comments, right? Let's go ahead and jump on into Fedora and see how Fedora looks. So here we are. So Fedora is not really my favorite desktop for sure, but we'll go ahead and be as unbiased as we possibly can. I'm gonna start. Let me actually pop over this guy here. Does not generally have... no, not that. Is this it? Hey, there we are. Yep, there we are. There's my distro box. Alright. I'm kind of booting it up. I haven't done any... Like, Q4OS I at least installed. This one I just downloaded it. Didn't have a chance to look at it otherwise. Well, third Manjaro. So it looks like I'm running Manjaro next. What desktop environment should I run on Manjaro? Linux Lite deserves way more praise than it gets, in my opinion. Got LXLE. I'm curious about that. How about running a Kali distro review? The problem with running a Kali distro review is it takes... basically, Kali in and of itself, all that's special about Kali is all the hacking tools. And... if I know how to use those, I'm not telling anybody how to use those. So we'll leave it at that. Looks like my distro has died or done something. Hello, little bug. Are you alive? I have a mouse. I have a dot. Ooh, I have more dots. Okay, let's go ahead and kill this. See if I can actually get this guy to go. Power off the machine. Let's Fedora take 2. I think my hat is broken. VirtualBox Manager. There you are. See if it runs this time. Pretty sure I have the box set up well. Yeah, okay. This is a live workstation, so it's designed for this. Oh boy. anyway, City Skylines, good non-violent game which supports Linux as well. Does anybody know, can you play Watch Dogs on Linux? Can you play Watch Dogs on Linux? If so, where, how, native, installed with Wine? Is it a Steam game? I kind of want to play it because of what's behind it, but I really don't know anything more about it other than it exists. I'm going to come over to comments until this virtual machine decides to cooperate with me. Maybe we won't look at Fedora. I don't know. Got another one for Cinnamon. I have a Mate desktop. Buying another desktop, laptop for security testing. Have been considering either Kali, Parrot, or Arch. Another one to consider, and I haven't looked into all of these, but there's another one out there, like, depending on if it's penetration testing, certainly one of those. If it's like a security type thing, there's another one out there called, like, I think it's called Onion or Onion OS, which is basically another one to, basically it's an intrusion detection type system. I encountered it at one point in time. I haven't seen anything on it in 6 months, but it's worth looking at as well. You need to wear a Fedora hat to pay tribute to Fedora. Go help my dad with the baby. All right. See you later, Technobismal. Ubisoft refuses to support OpenGL Linux. Watchdog is a GTA ripoff clone. Huh. Okay. Watch Dogs is only for Windows and console. Uses DX11. Doesn't work in Wine. Bummer. Apparently, like, yeah, Fedora. It looks like I'm not going to get Fedora to run here today. You know, this is one of the reasons I'm not a fan of Fedora. It's just it just takes too much overhead to get working. So I don't know. I got moving dots. Dots are moving, but poor VirtualBox does not. I can't even my menus aren't even working. Something's going goofy here. I don't know what it is. Power off the machine. Huh? Oh well. I guess we're not looking at Fedora today, because, well, frankly, Fedora's not working. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me move the comments back over here where I can actually read them better. All right. Pantheon, customized it and love it. Watchdog is a better story than GTA. I like the whole hackers versus big corporations. Yeah, and I won't play GTA. I will not give credence to a company that produces a game that's that violent. I don't know if it's the same company or not, but maybe it doesn't like. Yeah, I don't know. I've run Fedora many times on virtual machines. I don't know. Maybe the beta doesn't like VirtualBox at this point in time. I don't know. But anyway, let's see what's going on Distro Watch. Let's go ahead and do that. We're just doing life and Linux stuff, so let's just go ahead and chat for at least another 5 or 10 minutes or so. So of course Fedora's out, FreeBSD's out. I'm gonna look at FreeBSD sometime. NixOS. I wanted to have a look at this actually yesterday. But there's no live install, and all the installation has to be done manually, and it's kind of a pain. And so I'm like, I don't have time for that. So I opted to not do that. Of course, we looked at it. Let's see, rankings. As I predicted before, Elementary is going down, not even in the top 10 anymore. Deepin actually took its place. Solus is up there now. OpenSUSE. Ubuntu's holding static. I don't know. Do we think Manjaro's going to take over Debian soon? What do you guys think? Is Manjaro going to take over Debian soon? Pew Pew Shooter on Steam, in my opinion, is Insurgency. Such a great game, recently on sale for $1.50. Nice. Watch Dogs is the same crap as GTA 5, just from Ubisoft. Okay. Well, I've never played GTA 5. I have moral objections to it, so... Closer to Assassin's Creed. Okay, I haven't watched either one. All right. Well, I think I hit the end of the comment stream. I said I was going to go over another 5 or 10 minutes, but kind of hit the end of the comment stream. And I think I have a bunch more work to get done. I did move all my servers, so my home cooking hacks does not yet have the SSL installed. I'm going to get to that soon, very soon, I think. What videos do I have? So home cooking hacks footage. I have available chocolate chip cookies, homemade chocolate chips, yogurt. What recipe should we do next? I'm leaning towards the chocolate chip cookies because I think I have that video actually mostly done. I could push that up pretty quick, I think. So all my sites have SSLs installed. I have a shopping cart available on the Christian site at ourwalkinchrist.com for the current book that I have on there and for the new and upcoming book. You know what? Let's look at Manjaro. We got some time. Let's look at Manjaro. Of course, I got to spell it right, but hey, it knew what I was talking about. Let's have a look. There's a pre-release 1. There's a KDE edition. Let's see. What else can we find? Let's look at the downloads. Sometimes that's a good way to figure it out. Okay, so we have an XFCE edition. We have a KDE edition. We have a GNOME edition. The Architect, which I'm guessing will allow me to install a variety of different distros. Looks like those are my options. All right, I'm going to declare no, I'm not running GNOME. Running it right now on Ubuntu, sick of it. So KDE or XFCE? I think I might do XFCE. And the reason is this computer is almost always running KDE. Let's see what I can do on XFCE for a while. I think that would be good. JJ Games Votes Cookies. This is my homemade chocolate chip cookie recipe, including homemade chocolate chips, in fact. Chocolate chip cookies. Always wanted to make them, but never had a chance to see and learn. All right. Manjaro is good. Use it as a daily driver. But Debian's infamous stability is what keeps it ahead. Do you happen to see Western Digital is releasing a 14 terabyte drive soon? I did not see that. No. NixOS is actually very nice, just a little work. Yeah, I'm sure it's nice, but you know, if it comes time for me sitting there and manually installing a distro for the mere purpose of reviewing it, I don't got the time. So yeah, we're gonna do Manjaro XFCE, I think, next. I think that's what we're gonna do. They need to offer Mate. Cookie Monsters say cookie. All right, I think it's settled. We'll do chocolate chip cookies as the next recipe over there. If you did not check it out, I do have the taco recipe over there. Patrons, I'm going to do a behind the scenes. I am revising. I've been experimenting with a recipe for homemade soft pretzels. And I don't have the recipe quite right. So patrons are going to get a kind of behind the scenes as I do the next Tinker experiment over there with the with that. So that's the next. I have I think I have a Linux behind the scenes somewhere. I have actually a behind the scenes for the patrons. Already know what this book is called and what it's about and why I wrote it. Patrons already have that information. In a behind the scenes video for them. Next video I'm going to do maybe this week. Actually, I'll do it as soon as I get to the store because I ran out of yeast. So I need more yeast. So we're going to do that. Again, remember tomorrow, probably something. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do tomorrow. Maybe that. What is the name of the cooking channel? It is called Home Cooking Hacks, and I will drop a link in there. So the tacos is the latest recipe up over there right now. So we have tacos, we have how to cut a pineapple, how to make real homemade chocolate pudding, real homemade simple bread. I have an intro video. We have a strawberry banana smoothie, chili. One of the next things I think I need to do soon is I have enough chicken bones saved up because when I make soup completely from scratch, including making the broth from scratch. And so I think I almost have enough chicken bones saved up. I saved chicken bones. Man, if I ever, like, I have got to be on some watch list. I'm running Windows, not running Windows. I got Tails going. I have a cell phone that communicates to the Tor network. They bust in here. I have tea leaves that I buy bulk tea and tea leaves. I got a bag of bones in my freezer. I mean, I'm a psycho. But anyway, I do need to do that, so I'll either do a chicken noodle soup or a ham and bean soup. Probably chicken noodle soup because I already have ham and bean soup made recently. So that's that. Let's see. Cinnamon is the community editions. Is there a community editions? Community editions. Let me look at the community editions. Maybe I'll run something else. Ooh, you know what? I might run Budgie. Or Budgie, however you pronounce that. I have wanted to play with Budgie on a little bit more production environment. So I might actually run Manjaro Budgie because I have XFCE on that. There's Deepin. Deepin's actually not a bad option. I've never run the i3, I don't think. What's similar between i3 and OpenBox? They look very similar. LXQT, LXDE, and Mate. So we do have it. That opens some things up. I think next I'm gonna run Manjaro Budgie next. I think that's what I'm gonna do because I've kind of wanted to play with Budgie in a more production environment, and so maybe I'll do that next. So I'll do Manjaro Budgie. Do a month or so on that. So we'll do an install video. We'll do an install video. We'll do after like a midway through, and then we'll end it with 2 more videos. The things I like about it, things I don't like about it. What is my favorite Linux distro? I use, well, as far like, it's hard to answer. If I'm talking about going into a production environment, so the computer I'm running this on right now is Linux Mint Cinnamon. Linux Mint Cinnamon 18.2. Also, my web design Linux computer is also running Linux Mint Cinnamon. And the reason I do that is because the setup is in fact, I have the setup pretty much exactly like I do Windows setup because I'm highly, highly efficient and productive in that environment. So I use that. My media PCs back here, usually I'm actually running a KDE. So this computer back here where I'm running KDE build, this is actually Linux Mint KDE. I also have a Debian KDE that actually my Debian runs KDE, Cinnamon, or Mate. So I can run all those desktop environments on the Debian build. Of course, so those are kind of my go-tos. I have this computer here is Ubuntu Mate that I use for all of my backups. I use different Linux distros for different things because I find that some things give me a better speed of production than others. So as far as my favorite, I'm just going to go with the Linux Mint Cinnamon just because I first saw it. I'm like, wow, this does exactly what I want it to do, and stuck with it ever since. XFCE doesn't play nicely with high refresh rate monitors. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't play nicely when you have cats either because they like to claw at the monitor and it can cause some screen damage. Fun fact, I've just installed Ubuntu Studio because of one of your videos. Awesome! And welcome, Philippe. Yeah, that's a cool distro. How is Android? You should set up the interface... that interface for the YouTube channel. What interface? Sudo Linux. This Android, how's this Android? This Android, I'm loving it. I have K9 Mail. All the software I have on there is open source software. There's no Google services at all network connections except for email, and one browser goes through the Tor network. And so it really, it's designed as an open source privacy phone, and it has all chipsets for all U.S. cell carriers, possibly some international ones as well. But so I can take it to Verizon, I can take it to AT&T, I can take it to T-Mobile. It has all the different chipsets in it. All right, let's see. Homemade chicken soup. Yes, that is good. How often do you release cooking videos? The cooking channel is the lowest priority I have, and the reason is, A, to record the footage is a pain. I literally have to upset my life for an entire day to record footage. And then sometimes I go in and I realize I missed a shot, and then I have to upset my whole day again to patch up the shot that I missed. And then the video editing is a lot more intense. Although I streamlined it better, I now have that working a little bit better. But it still is a very difficult channel to do the video edits for. So I don't have a set schedule for those. I would like to do one a week or one every other week. I just don't have the time. I want to prioritize the Linux channel as channel number 1. The Christian channel as channel number 2. And then the cooking channel gets filled in behind the gaps. But like this week, I moved all of my servers. My entire day, I spent 20 straight hours, because if you do anything in web design or you've ever hosted a website and you have your cPanel, I transferred 42 of those on Monday. That's all I did Monday, was transferred verified servers, moved all my things because I was just absolutely done with that stupid EIG company I was working with. Got so full of it. Moved everything over to a server where I have full root access to a server. That's going to give me the ability to do some live server stuff with CentOS, whereas I did not have root access on any of my servers before. So the only way I could practically have done that before is running AWS, which I don't want to do. And so this way I should be able to do things like, I want to experiment with collab, but I didn't want to collab on a local network. I want it somewhere out on a cloud that I control. So basically, I'm filling in a lot of the gaps, but guess what? All this stuff, I still have to be a full-time web developer so that I can, pay my bills, because I always have to make sure I have enough time in the day to, make ends meet, and that's the reality. So if you want to help support the channel, the more this channel grows and my other channel and content creation grows, the less time I have to devote to web design, and that's kind of why I push this, and books and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't have a schedule for the cooking videos simply because of that. So Manjaro Budgie, like to know what kind of package manager it uses. Yeah, I can't remember. I think Synaptic might be in there. I've reviewed it a few times. Oh, well, yeah, I guess Manjaro does have Pacman. I've looked at Ubuntu Budgie as well, which is pretty nice. What if you want the Linux Linty love? Go for Linux Mint KDE or something similar. Even if someone maintains Lineage, for Droid DNA, I might still stick with PacROM. This is how stable it is. Linux software do I use for recording videos? We are currently recording on OBS. I also will use Simple Screen Recorder if I'm doing something more simple, but usually I use OBS for the for the recording, and then I use Kdenlive for the video editing. Switched to Martha Stewart. Really? Martha Stewart. Sounds like fun. Hey, Total OS today. How's it going? Join into Brian's 24-hour stream, anyone? Yes, I was there actually most of the day because I was moving servers. So I was actually on it most of the day. So yeah, I'd watch that and send him some cash to help him join up and things like that. So that is good. It's exciting to see as well. I was curious if Level 1 Tex is going to join also. That'd be pretty sweet. All right, let's see. Manjaro is Arch-based, uses Pacman, and gives access to AUR as well. Yeah, I might be a little out of my element here running this, but that's quite okay. I'll do it. I'm gonna go ahead and download this bad boy now. Right. Download this one. Let's see how long this takes to download. Well, I probably shouldn't download it much while I'm live streaming, should I? I don't know. We're about done anyway. Yeah, so it's going to take about 9 minutes to download. So I'm downloading that now. So using... Can I ask an off-topic question? Yes, ask away quickly. Give me things to talk about or we'll end the stream. But yes, ask an off-topic question. Just fine. Okay, let's see. What else do we got? Nerd on the street. Oxeo, in no hurry. All right. I'm waiting for your question there, Thirsty Fox. All right. Let's see if there's anything else I want to do. Of course, we have the home cooking channel. Let me give for anybody else that was not on earlier. If you want the Christian channel, warning, I am a politically incorrect Christian, so be wary of that. You know what? You know what's really funny? I'm actually not subscribed to my own channels. I should subscribe to my channels, shouldn't I? Rat heard your voice and came to the other side of the cage. Came closer or came further away? Do the kitty view. He's a little cuter, right? How long have I been running Linux? I first experimented with Linux, I want to say Ubuntu 11.04, but then I kind of put it down for a while, and I picked it back up, I think 2015, when the Windows 10 spyware was announced. Before Windows 10 came out, I'm like, nope, that's not happening in my house. So that's actually when I re-downloaded Ubuntu, and found Linux Mint, and been running Linux daily ever since then. So, how did you get red pilled? You seem very based or biased from all your videos and streams. What do you mean by red pilled? Explain that a little bit more. I'm interested in answering that. Is that very biased from videos and streams? Or based in videos and streams? Like, do you mean like or I'm like rooted? Do you mean rooted? Do you mean rooted? I'll call that client back. All right. Let's see. Has anyone backed up a DVD? No idea. I like being called a nerd. It's a compliment. That's right. If I knew where they were, I'd go grab my nerd glasses. They're in the closet somewhere. I just don't know exactly where. My closet is in disarray because of my minimalism. I'm actually on the phase where I'm minimalizing my my tax documents. I have 9 years left to go. I'm on 2008, and I am scanning everything into computers to keep digital copies. And since I have businesses, I have to keep records at least back to 2010. Found PC and social justice really toxic and bad influence on society. Yeah, both of them. Channels are also not added to your homepage. You should do that for easy access. Yes, I should. Yeah, and some of this, like, I have a big laundry list of things I really want to do. I don't have time to do it all, and that's kind of the downside. But yeah, cat's tired. The cat's always tired, except 3 a.m. He decides to tear around the house a little bit. To Linux because the PC wouldn't run XP, so I went to Linux, haven't looked back. I notice a lot of Linux community seems to be opposed to mainstream narrative. Base is based in logic. Okay, that's a long story. Okay. I would say there was a period of time when I was probably a person who would certainly have said I would have bought into the system. I would say, and it's been slowly eroding away because, of course, I went from high school right into college. I skipped my master's. I went right for my doctorate. So I have a bachelor's and I have a doctorate. While at my doctorate, I realized I don't like doing lab research. I'm good at doing the article research stuff. I'm a fabulous data miner. But as far as I realized I didn't want to do research, so I wanted to go into teaching. So I spent 3 years as a college professor, and I taught at an Ivy League, and I taught at a community college. And in that, what I started to see is the downside of so many people just pushing their kids right into college after high school. And I really saw that that was bad for society. And so when I left teaching in 2010, to start full-time in web design, what I started to observe, and there was a period of time for about another 3 years, I'd say, when I was just kind of watching things, and I finally looked up one day and I was like, okay, everything we are taught about diet is wrong. And your nutritionalist and doctor is legally not allowed to tell you what's actually healthy. The dietary studies. Now, and understand, before you jump down, like, what do you know? What do I know? I have a PhD in molecular toxicology with a specific emphasis on nutrition. Okay? What causes fat storage in the body? Insulin. What causes insulin? Carbohydrate consumption. What is the foundation of the American diet? Carbohydrates. If it says fat-free, you fill it with carbohydrates. Protein is almost consistently, totally constant throughout our diets. To regulate your protein 5% up or down takes a tremendous amount of effort. But fat and carbs fluctuate back and forth. If you eat a diet mostly consisting of fats and proteins, your insulin never spikes and your body naturally lives off of fat. But if you eat what we regularly eat with all this low-fat stuff and you start consuming low-fat things, your insulin is constantly high. With your insulin constantly high, your body gets fat. I looked at this as a PhD, knowing that was the fact, and still found myself repeating the narrative. Low fat, low fat, low fat. And what started that, I think, is when I looked down and I had gotten fat. Because I think I was up to like maybe 215 at the most, maybe 210, 215 at the most. I'm like, so I dove in, I'm like, well, I got to start watching this. And so I literally started counting calories. Now, one of the lowest weight I've ever been in the last 10 years was response to limiting my calorie count to no more than 1,600 calories a day and probably spending 3 or 4 hours daily exercising. That brought my weight down. But as soon as you burn out, because you will, your weight goes right back up because you cannot maintain that. You're constantly hungry. You're grumpy. And then one day I looked at this and said, what causes insulin? Maybe I need to stop counting calorie numbers and instead start looking at eating food that doesn't do that. And so I'm like, okay, let's have a look at this. And so I pretty much eliminated any added carb for a long time. Wouldn't you know that my weight dropped down to 180 without exercise at all? Because I had put good things into my body, which is so countercultural to what we're taught in the midst of all of that. I looked up and I said, how many other things am I believing that may or may not be true? And so I started going on a quest for looking at things. The companies, the tech. Now, granted, a lot of my solid foundation lies on the fact that I am a Christian who was not raised in a church. Okay? I had no concept of what God was or anything. And the reality is, as a highly intellectual person, well before I became a Christian, I wasn't about to throw my brains in the trash can. But what we're finding right now is people are throwing our brains in our trash can. Even today, even now, our brains are being thrown in the trash can. Because you move from this believe what these people say to a believe what these people say. I don't care if you're a bum on the street or the pastor in the pulpit. I'm evaluating what you say through what I know, which includes, for me right now, the scriptures. And that's why I had a discussion. You'd probably say an argument, but I don't get into arguments in that type of thing. Basically, a pastor told me something today that I so completely disagreed with. But it wasn't the place to sit there and debate. I just nodded my head and then went in and put a video about it that'll probably get more views than than you imagine. But that's really what it is, because and really what this pastor wanted me to do is literally adopt a liberal agenda in the context of a church. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into my business meeting yesterday. So like, every, twice a month, I have a business lunch with a whole group of local business people, small business people. I don't go into that environment and be like, Jesus is king. You have to confess Jesus or you're going to hell. Okay, I'm much more loving than that. And believe it or not, if you meet me and have coffee with me, I don't rave like a screaming lunatic into a microphone. I'm actually a lot more calm than than I appear on videos. But in light of all of that, where was I going with that? What I basically did is I said, I'm not gonna buy into that narrative, and really that's what happened with the baseness is how well rooted I am. It's because I had to question every presupposition I came from. I came from a very abused background. And I had to reevaluate everything from my family of origins to the way I approached food, to the way I approached life, to the way I approached family. Everything had to be questioned. And part of that questioning is I do not buy what the church tells me right away. Because there is only, in my opinion, there is only one absolute infallible truth. And my Bibles are in the other room, but I would hold up a Bible and say, it is the Bible. If it is in that, I am inclined to believe with it. If it is not, I am not. And basically, this pastor wanted me to throw that away and listen to him because he's a pastor, despite me saying, from the Bible, this is correct. Now, I remember where I was going now. I wouldn't go into that business lunch with all that in mind. But what I will do, this was a case in a church, in a church-sponsored event with a room full of Christians reading a Christian book. You want me to approach a liberal narrative? And if somebody in that room is mad at me because, I was overbearing with my opinion, get over it. Rub your own butt. I'm not going to soften myself in that context. Because the church is the one place we need to stand up and be firm and say, we will not allow the crazy business stuff in here. We will not allow the modern narrative in here. We will not allow, and the most ironic thing of all is we're discussing a book talking about the very philosophies that he's telling me to do. And this author is like, this is a bad philosophy. And I just gave away most of my video for tomorrow, but check out that video because I was a lot more forceful with that. So that's kind of what happened, based in logic. It really happened when I really started to look around and see what is there. But you're right. I've seen references to the Red Pill documentary. I've not actually watched it, but I've seen references to it and some interviews with some people in it. But that's the reality, guys. We gotta wake up. And what causes, in my opinion, us to not be awoken up is how frequently, just how overworked we are in our culture. We're so overworked. We just move from this task to this task to this task to this task. And as Anonymous said at one point in time, they keep you so busy you can't think. Let me see if I can still find that Anonymous list. Actually, I kept a list around from Anonymous because it was so awesome. One of their things. So this is from an Anonymous video. It's called "If This Doesn't Open Your Eyes, Nothing Will." And they probably have 15 or so clickbaity articles with that title. And so, number 1, give the illusion of freedom. Number 2, give constant entertainment. Number 3, dumb down the population. Number 4, brainwashing ideas with entertainment, not books. Number 5 is divide the masses. That happens in our country. Number 6 is fear and terror. Number 7 is believe in a fake reality. Number 8 is censorship of people who speak the truth. And number 9 is to keep the citizens busy. See, if you're so busy that you don't have time to think, you're just going to keep doing the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over. That's the way it's going to happen. It's so pervasive. And that's why I write. That's why I like to blog. That's why I like to do the videos. Because I want to pass this on. If I can help wake one person up, I've done my job. But if my books get out and my videos get out and all this stuff gets out, we can help you out. I know all y'all, I'm driving y'all crazy. You'll want to know what this book is all about, don't you? Friday, you will learn what the book is all about. Oh, boy. Red pills, waking up, BS of feminists and third wave and feminist social justice. Okay, yep. That's what I was thinking you were saying, but... All right, let's see. I've been checking out... Yeah, I'll see if I can find that tonight. Christian channel and politically incorrect. Yeah. Have you heard of MG Toe? No, I have not. What is MG Toe? This is totally not a Linux video. Why is that bad for society to get kids into school? Oh, men going their own way. Huh. See, here's I have an immediate problem with even their statement. In a statement of self-ownership where the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty above all else. Check out the video I just did on the Christian channel yesterday. It is about our sovereign God. I don't want to be sovereign over myself. I want to be accountable to the man upstairs because he is infinitely smarter than me and infinitely wiser than me and infinitely more resourceful than me. And I'm going to do, though, what I'm called to do. But, you know, I've been ketogenic for over 3 years. Awesome. Yep. And that's the way to go. Use keto for cutting. Works well. Yep. Low fats with high sugar contents. Yep. That's what our modern thing is. But I love chocolate. Yeah, so do I. What is keto? The ketogenic diet, which is when you limit your carb intake. Somebody probably already said this, but if you limit your carb intake to no more than 5% carbs daily and make sure there's nothing of that is added sugar, then in a couple days you'll hit keto diet. Basically what that means is your body is completely shifted to burning fat. So you're going to burn your own fat, which is more efficient than burning the food that you eat. And so it's way better. The food pyramid has been upside down. In fact, that is a very funny thing because if you look at the history behind the food pyramid, the Department of Agriculture flipped it on its head. It was originally written with breads and grains, that, you know, that small part with the sweets and oils. That small part with the sweets and oils, that was breads and grains. The whole pyramid had fruits and vegetables, the very big base at the bottom. Then it had meats and proteins, and I forget what was next. And the very top of it was actually your breads and grains. Because go back, watch some movies and film from 30, 40 years ago. Everybody knew carbs would make you fat. Everyone knew potatoes would make you fat. Everyone knew anything with carbohydrates, whether it was sugar or something natural, would make you fat. I mean, this is stuff that is so well known, well documented since the 1800s. But what happened is the Department of Agriculture, it all actually goes down politically to a guy named Earl Butz, who was the Secretary of Department of Agriculture, I think. I think I have that wrong, but whatever, for Richard Nixon. He was concerned about losing the election, and so he said, take food price off the table. The only way to do that is produce food that doesn't go bad and that is cheap. And so overnight, the farm bills went from we're going to subsidize farmers to not grow farms to we're going to subsidize the farmers to grow as much corn, soy, wheat, and cotton as possible. And everything in the supermarket that has a label on it is made of one of the three things. We don't eat the cotton. We use that for clothes. But corn, soy, and wheat. If you look at the labels of everything in your house today that has a barcode on it that you bought from the store that is a processed food, it is either going to be based on wheat, on corn, or on soy. And that made food prices cheap and made shelf life stable, which means food prices are cheap. And so that's really what happened. And since then, that was happening right at the time the food pyramid was being created. The food pyramid was initially suggested by a very competent dietitian. And then they took this and said, well, this won't do any good because it has the things that we know produces the most stable food at the very top. Let's flip it over. And that's exactly what they did. They flipped the whole thing over to put breads and grains at the bottom. And right at that point in time, that is exactly when the obesity epidemic started. Well, visiting Japan, no soft drinks, walking 15 kilometers per day, no carbs, no waste junk food, lots of walking, lots of plain water. Yep, Bulletproof coffee is the best fat ever and delicious drinking mix. Exercise is good for you. Yes, exercise is very good for you, and you should exercise. The point I'm making, though, is that exercise does not actually help you burn fat. It doesn't. All it does is it makes your body hungry for more food. So the exercise, what makes your body more efficient at burning fat. That's why you want to exercise. That, and it keeps you in good shape otherwise. But it's not a fat burning tool. Best moment yet. Awesome. Okay. Just look at how toxic Antifa and anti-Nazis are in the U.S. You don't agree with the radicals, you're a white ring straight male. Yeah, I'm offensive to the extreme. I am white, I'm a male, and I'm a Christian. And I'm not liberal, and I'm conservative. Man, I should just grow some horns up here, because I'm just the devil, apparently. I don't know. Watch Ben Shapiro videos, nice lectures on campuses. Politics in general is cancer to me. I don't claim either lib or conservative. Both parties are dumb. Yeah, absolutely. I'm conservative in my approach to things, meaning that I don't jump onto new trends fast. I'm not opposed to new trends, but I am opposed to new trends for the sake of new trends. And that's kind of what liberal progressivism is we've always been doing it this way. Let's dump it and go on. But pure conservatism says this is the way we've always done it. Both of those are an error. We got to walk the middle line. Always be evaluating ourselves. Always evaluate, is there a more efficient way of doing something? Hold on to that, which is good. In fact, hey, I'm already offending everybody. Let's throw in some Bible verses. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Examine everything carefully. Hold fast to that which is good. Abstain from every evil thing. I think it's verses 21, 22, somewhere around there. Look in the late teens, early 20s, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Okay, regarding some issues USA are facing right now. YouTube found out he's getting knocked out now. Yeah, probably. Isn't a good idea at all. We need children. And the scary thing is I think that most children are kind of being born to people who didn't really want kids anyway. They just wanted pleasure, and that's why you should, not do that. Then society needs proper equal rights and not more rights for women. And that's the thing. In fact, I knew a guy back in the 90s, good friend of mine, who was he was a homosexual guy, and he would always say that no, gays don't want equal rights, they want special rights. And that's the problem. We need equal rights. And in reality, we generally have equal rights. But we don't need special rights. Look at some of Dave Collins stuff on Computing Forever, where he's talking about, I think it was on his video, he's talking about, these companies have to have a certain number of people, I forget what country he's talking about, certain number of people have to be homosexual. Why is that even relevant to your job? If I were to hire somebody in here to help me do web design work, I wouldn't be asking that question. Do you prefer having sex with other men or with women? Or do you prefer having sex with other women or with men? Are you bi or gay or straight? I got a reality check for you. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But you should also come to work knowing I'm a crazy radical evangelical Christian. I'm not going to judge you one way or the other, but if you're working in my office, I might be listening to a sermon. I might be listening to some narrative from your side of the view. I don't care, because I'll watch whatever comes up on the screen, because I want to learn. I don't want my life to become an echo chamber for my own viewpoint. That's what causes problems, when we produce an echo chamber for our own life. And that's unfortunately what a lot of social media does. You need to watch much more stuff on YouTube. Maybe check out. I'll have a look at some of their stuff. I'm immediately turned off by their slogan, because I have an ultimate sovereignty and it is not me. But I'll definitely look into some of their stuff. Oh, Computer Forever. Oh, look at that. Somebody else watches some Computing Forever. This is my first visit. Usually, Lawrence, I do a little bit more Linuxy stuff, but hey, we got off on this, and why not? I don't care. I have a possible way to rip a hole in space and time using basic physics and magnetic fields. But if I release it to the masses, I'll get censored because I'm smart. Yep. Definitely check out your channel later. Awesome. Help, I'm getting tired. Okay. Well, see you later, Pseudo Linux. Have a good one. Buy keto strips and check ketone levels to help monitor it. Cool. Never understood why we eat a lot at night and not much in the morning. Sometimes it's boredom. Sometimes it's just whatever. I don't know. Who is it? There's a documentary. You can watch it on YouTube. It's called The Skinny on Obesity. It has Robert Lustig and a few other people in it. He kind of explains the problem with if we don't get enough to eat, our bodies self-regulate the number, the amount of calories or whatever we eat. And the reality is we got to put good stuff in. Now, it's funny when you start bringing this up. Another one of those red pill moments, I guess. You start saying, no, it's not it's not, the number of calories. It's the type of calories. And people are like, no, it's not that. I'm like, well, good then. I'm just going to go get 1,500 calories on cake because I'd enjoy that probably a little bit more than 1,500 calories of broccoli. And then you frame it that way, like, well, no, the broccoli's better for you. Why? It's 1,500 of calories. Why does it make a difference if it's cake or broccoli? Because the difference is that the broccoli is a lot healthier for you. The cake is not. Speaking of which, I think I should do some cake videos too. I have a very awesome recipe for it's a 3-minute personal cake. It's really awesome. You can just mix a few ingredients together on a coffee mug, nuke it for 3 minutes on a microwave, makes a perfect cake every time. I'm going to put that on Home Cooking Hacks sometime. All right, speaking of cake. All right, it's your basic view on universal basic income. I don't know much about it, but if I would have a guess, say, based on the name of, and I think I've seen things like this, like each individual person has a basic amount of income, and then they can make additional more than that. There's challenges with how you might implement such a thing. There's things about it that seem a little too close to socialism because rather than just give a universal income, why not just give the free products that income buys? That would probably be a better option. It gets rid of the middleman and limits the fake go-between of that. But the principle, I think, is based on a good idea where, hey, we're going to give you the minimum amount of money it takes to meet your basic needs. And then that will help you free up time to do more creative things. I think it would actually help boost society. I think it would. Or a better option is, why don't we look at things? I think the biggest problem in America right now, and I can't speak for the other countries, the biggest problem in America right now is healthcare is out of control. I mean, I got bit by a tick a number of years back, and I had a traditional Lyme disease rash, which is and according to the physician's desk reference, I had one at the time, I don't now, but had one at the time, according to the physician's desk reference, the only definitive sign for Lyme disease is a bullseye rash. If you have a patient with a bullseye rash, you give a 2-week doxycycline treatment, and you reevaluate and do a Lyme titer in 2 weeks. That's it. That's the latest physician's desk reference. So I go into the emergency room with a bullseye rash. They hook up an IV. They did a blood titer, which was completely useless. It was $5,000 is what the bill was. According to the physician's desk reference, I should walk into the emergency room, say, look, a bullseye rash. They should give me doxycycline and say, come back in a week. I could pay out of pocket $100 for a brief emergency room visit to get a prescription for doxycycline. Why do I have $5,000 of treatment? Because they could, and I had no say. See, we got to kill that. We got to get healthcare to the point to where if I go into the hospital and they give me a Band-Aid, they don't charge me $30 for a Band-Aid. They charge me 30 cents because that's about what the retail price of a Band-Aid is. That's the problem. We got to get rid of that kind of crap. And then we probably won't need a universal basic income. Let's get to the root of the issue. Rather than saying, let's just hand out everybody money, let's get to the root of the issue. Why are they doing that? Because some fat cat corporate CEOs, and frankly, my mom works at a hospital, and they're the corporate sharks that are buying up all the hospitals is hovering around theirs, and they snapped that hospital up. They snapped up the other hospital that's down the road from here. And then they come in and they do all the corporate stuff. Like, the nurses, you cannot wear special uniforms anymore. And so what was a personality-filled nursing staff was reduced to navy blue or white scrubs. Why? Why? Because the country's getting monopolies and too nice on mergers. Don't drink any coffee. All right. I'm agnostic and can't pretend to be religious, but I have a great deal of respect for Christianity and its values. Awesome. Yep. And that's cool with me. The Earth's population is spinning out of control. Men going their own way is helping that problem. Yeah, so is the homosexual epidemic. I shouldn't say epidemic, though. So is the homosexual movement. And that's the reality, you know. If you want to be homosexual and have a partner, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But don't force me to accept that into some weird special rights issue. Now, because at some point in time, we got to draw the line. You know, if a homosexual approaches me like, build us a website, I wouldn't care, personally. Now, if they're building a Christian website, I might have some discussions with them. They might go away from me mad, but I wouldn't deny them service. Because I don't care. In fact, I have among my clients, I think I have at least 2 psychics. I completely disagree with their viewpoints. But I'm not this radical, you don't believe the Bible, you're going to hell. Because that's not consistent with Christianity. But that's the thing, is that's exactly what a lot of these guys on this far left are wanting to do. They're wanting to force me to believe their ideology. Well, you got about as much success convincing me to believe your ideology as I have walking to the moon. Because I happen to believe I was called out by God. I couldn't deny him if I wanted to. Greetings, Brazil. How's it going there, Ulissa? Australian cops are doing a female 50% gender quota. It's affecting Australian society. All right, you know, I don't have live streams for my demographics on the live stream itself, but I'll tell you that my channel on Switch to Linux is 97% men and 3% women. So clearly I'm evil. So if any women are watching, please bring more ladies along, because I got to hit that 50-50 mix, or else, I mean, I'm just evil. And guess what, guys? I assume if some lady ran a makeup channel out there, I assume that she'd probably have about a 97% female audience. Just my thinking. Oh, boy. Hey, Fatal, how's it going there? Whoa, I think I've missed a few places here, haven't I? Okay. I'd eat before I go to bed or wake up hungry. Tend to just eat egg whites or protein. So eat the yolks too. The yolk is the best part of the egg, and it is not bad for you at all. All right. See you later, Oxe-AO. Okay. We have examined Linux Mint carefully, and that's why we run it. Nice. Yeah, somebody accused me the other day in my comment, unless he deleted it, it might still be on one of my videos the other day from Ubuntu. It was really hilarious because he says, you're being super subjective. Like, no. There's a difference between subjective and objective, and the difference, and all my 5 points were very objective. My subjective view that I don't really care for GNOME, I left that out of the video. And then he accused me of running Linux Mint because it's the top of Distro Watch. No. Oh well, that's okay. I don't mind though. I usually don't respond to comments. I just felt like responding to that one, so no, my apologies if you're on the stream. I forget who left me that comment, but it was just a funny comment to me. Yeah, but I'll defend. That's fine. Population spinning out of control. Okay, I think I already read that part. I think third wave feminists and females are offended with men going their own way because we won't become a free wallet for them and won't be able to manipulate how men are. Hey, Anna Rita, how's it going there? Anna Rita, I have a question for you. You guys have asked me a few times about putting up podcasts on some of the videos, and somebody asked me about podcasting at least the Outdoor Philosophies on the Linux channel. So where is a good place to host that podcast, according to you, who has asked me multiple times about that? Where can I host that is the best for you? Okay, Australia already has a Centrelink, which is sort of an Ubi, but this would equal for everyone. Here it's around 500 per week. Huh. I'd take a 500 per week. Oh, that actually helped me pay my bills. Universal basic income might actually reduce crime and fix some homeless issues. It very well might. Yep. The challenge, though, with the universal basic income is if somebody's addicted to alcohol and you hand them money, they're going to go out and buy alcohol. I mean, that's one of the challenges to it. Medical inflation is a global phenomenon coming from greedy physicians. Well, the reality is, though, it's not the physicians. It's the corporate guys that run the hospitals. The physicians are leaving hospitals in droves because the corporate guys want to make all this money on the hospital and pay the physicians peanuts. It has nothing to do with the physicians. I think a doctor is well worth his wage. But with the hospital, it takes 90% of that from the doctor and overcharges everything. That's the problem. USA needs tax packet SIGs at the same rate as Australia and use that tax to pay for free healthcare. Oh, there you go. We die. Well, the thing is, another fun thing about the medical industry and the health industry is that they're not interested in helping us be healthy. And the reason is a healthy person does not pay medical bills and a dead person does not make medical bills. But a chronically ill person pays a lot of medical bills. Same way with pigeonholing people into psychological disorders. In fact, I poke fun at that in this book. I have a comment at this book, which is actually a comedy book, by the way, but I poke fun at that and I say we should all be on Ritalin anyway. That would make the pharmaceutical companies happy. So I'll try and find that section for our live reading on Friday. So, all right. The problem is USA still outdated low minimum wage, increase US to 17. Well, the problem with increasing the minimum wage too high is it causes the price of everything else to go up. Because if you increase the minimum wage, do you expect that the guys paying the minimum wage to crimp their lifestyle for it? No, they won't. They're just going to pass it on to everybody else. And that means that I go into McDonald's and my Whopper now costs me, $5, which is a challenge. So Canada health system isn't great either. If you have health issues and more than one problem, you have to look into it. I'm a lesbian and you will create my website. Absolutely. I have no problem. Yep. See, and that's the thing, is that you can be a lesbian all you want. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. The only place we're going to have a disagreement is when you try to force me to adopt your ideology. But the flip side of the coin, the true Christian message, take a look at the book of Acts. Paul went into each town. The Apostle Paul went into each town. He preached at the synagogue one time. And then he went and talked to who would listen. Okay, Christian message is not to coerce your neighbors. And when people throw these secular-looking concerts or whatever in their churches to get their friends into the church, to give them a doom and gloom gospel message and say this little prayer because this is going to get you out of hell message, that's fake. And it's not consistent with real Christianity. Real Christianity is an intellectual thing. It is a heart thing. It is worshiping with the Spirit and with the truth. And I don't care if you're a gay or a lesbian. In fact, I have a fun little confession. If you watch the videos I have on my Christian channel, and I have that intro and the outro music, that intro and outro music was written and produced by a very, very, very dear friend of mine who is a bisexual. He knows my stance. He knows why he produced the video, and I gladly promote his channel. And if you get a chance, go take a look at his SoundCloud channel. Let me see if I can find it. I don't remember what it is off the top, but I'll find it. All right. Okay, let me verify this. Ooh, I can't find his channel. Maybe he moved his channel. I'll have to ask him. Well, he has two channels here, but I'm not sure if either of these are the ones he would want me to link or not. I'm going to have to ask him. But, yeah, very good friend of mine. Does great job doing music stuff. I'll have to ask him that and update my channel links if I get the chance. Because I can't, the link he gave me, which worked back then, does not seem to be working right now. Let me try that again. No, can't find it. Anyway, I was gonna give him a promo on his channel there, but his channel's not there. But yeah, it doesn't matter to me, you know. It's interesting about most people take issues on minimum wage, insist on policies that keep it low. What can you do? Yeah. Well, the best thing that we can do is learn to use our money more responsibly. That doesn't solve all the problems, but you know, I don't have a problem paying all my bills because I'm not giving you know, internet or cable TV $80 a month. I'm not giving Netflix whatever they charge a month. I'm not paying Hulu and all these other people that all want monthly services. I'm not doing all that stuff. I've never met a single female that repairs mobile phones or repairs computers, yet to find a single one that's actually interested in that field. Funny they don't push for 50-50 as plumbers and garbage men. That's just true. Right, Kitty? This is very true. So long as you don't go into anything politically controversial is SoundCloud. It's free up to a certain upload amount. Okay. Wasn't SoundCloud going broke? Yes, they were. Is it possible for you to create an RSS feed? But if not, I'd say put it on YouTube. Well, I mean, I should be able to run it on an RSS feed directly on the website itself, on Our Walk in Christ. I shouldn't have a problem with that. I just need to make sure it works right. I mean, I'm going to do it on like iTunes and stuff too, because it's too big of an audience to leave behind. But there's a lot of places I can put an RSS feed. What is a good option to sync Google Drive with my Mint XFCE? I have no idea. I don't use Google Drive. Okay. Ever consider the cost of products in USA is out of balance for the rest of the world? All right. Hey, we'll see you later, Charlie. Cool person. That's why I love it. I hope my wife does not see. Uh-oh. All right, folks. I think we've hit the bottom of the comment. I think I've officially pissed off every individual group. Oh, wait, hold on. Islam's bad. Okay, there. Now I've officially pissed off every group out there. We'll go ahead and end this bad boy, and hopefully we'll keep more monetization. Who knows? Let's see what happens. But anyway, we'll go ahead and end this with feeding the little kitty right here. Right, kitty? Oh, you want some temptations. Oh, you want temptations. Oh, kitty wants temptations. So just some final plugs. Friday we will be doing right here. Right here. And we're gonna do one more right there, right here. There you go. All right. So Friday, we will unveil the book. We will have 2 live streams, one here on Switch to Linux and one over on Our Walk in Christ. The Our Walk in Christ will be overwhelmingly Christian. The one on Switch to Linux will be excessively technical. So that's what we're going to do for that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow. Also, the shops should be available if you're US based. You want to buy a copy of the old book, Testing and Temptations. That is available. I still have one of these laying around. I am going to pull this book from this publisher as soon as I sell out of my stock, because I'm going to want to republish it. But if anybody, first person to send me a private message requesting this free book, it is a free DRM copy of the ebook for my first book, Testing and Temptations. First person to send me a private message, whether on this live video or in some later date. Very next message I get asking for that book, that is my last free giveaway. If you want to buy a copy to help support me, you can purchase it at ourwalkinchrist.com. If you are international, you can purchase it at payhip.com. And there's links for that on ourwalkinchrist.com. So with that, what we will do is wrap this bad boy up, and we will catch all of you guys later.